and welcome to the Heap. Episode 1, Dave's Brain. In this show, we're going to be looking back at some of the work that we've made over the last few years and then talk about, for whatever reason, we didn't decide to release them, or we did decide not to release them, but we didn't release them. Either way, we did not release them. Episode 1 is Dave's Brain. It is a 3.5-minute horror comedy that we made. I'm going to just play it now, and we're going to talk about it afterwards. So see you on the other side.
This hurts so bad. No, don't get up. I'm not ready. No, I said, don't get up. Why aren't I don't feel right. I don't feel right at all. I don't feel right at all. Oh my God. Oh God. Oh, there's so much. What even is that? Better out than in. Oh, this is weird. This is... Oh. Brian, it's me, Dave. Listen, mate, I don't appear to be in control of my body. It's doing things that... Oh my God, what am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, Brian. Oh, Brian, I'm so sorry. Oh my God, no hands. Stop. It's all coming out. It's just everywhere. Oh, Brian, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Brian. Can you help me? You can't hear me. Am I saying these words out loud, or is it all just in my head? How did this even happen? How did this even begin to happen? Oh, I know. You've got guns. Over here. Shoot me. Right in the head. Honestly, I won't be upset. I won't mind at all. You'd be doing me a favour, to be honest. Oh, you are in there. You're right in there, aren't you? That is... Don't mind if I do. Just come on, hands. Don't let me down. Yep, no. Oh, you that is not... Could be worse. Could be this guy. Look at this. Don't throw that at me. You rude man. Rude half man. Oh. What up, guys? How's it hanging? Ooh. Ow! Oh my God. Yes. Yes, this is it. Come on! Please! What? No, it's you. Please don't do this to me. Don't walk away. Pull the trigger. Mate, please, bang. I can't believe you missed me. Who misses from like a foot away? Oh yeah, you deserve this. Yeah, eat him. Yeah. Hang on, my leg. My head's off. You've actually shot my head off. I ain't got any arms now. I ain't got any legs. I'm so... Thought I was angry before, but this is... Oh, mate. Oh, I hope she's still chomp. Oh, you bastard.
So there you have it, Dave's Brain, in all of its grimy, miserable glory. Now, we shot this a few years ago on this little dude, actually. This is the GoPro Hero 4. It might have actually been a 3 that we borrowed off somebody. We had the camera head mounted onto Dave, who you see at the very beginning of the film, who was then the body of Dave for the shoot. I was connected to him with the HDMI cable and a small monitor and was basically bellowing out instructions as we roamed along throughout the streets. We shot it all in, I would say, one day for the bulk of the stuff with all the zombies, and then we did another day where we shot the scene at the opening in the alleyway where Mike was getting torn apart by Dave, or Brian, I think he was called in the film. And I think we did this about maybe 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. So many people turned up for it. We got all these zombies came to have all the makeup put on. We had this team of like 4 makeup artists. We took over a small community hall to do the makeup and the prepping and use as a sort of unit base. And then we were walking around York, and we were going to playgrounds, and we were going to Dewberry, the Castle Hills, all these mad places. And then we got back into the edit room and we put it all together, and I just hated it. I just really didn't like it. We changed the narrative around a few times. We did the voiceover, trying to sort of mess around with the track, and we improvised stuff, and we used different voices. And I think the first cut of the film came in at something like 7 minutes, which is obviously way, way too long. This was coming at a time where we were thinking about maybe playing YouTube's game a little bit. At the time, we were going to a lot of MCMs and Comic Cons, and we were seeing what other YouTubers were doing, and it was all very short, snappy, sort of single location stuff without much effects. So we wanted to still keep our kind of, you know, flavour on it with all of the big effects and the ambitious stuff that we do, but also wanted to make it simple. So, you know, it wasn't a long form web series. It wasn't like I Am Tim. We weren't doing 20, 30, 40 episodes at 10 minutes a pop. We were doing one single thing that was 3.5 minutes. And yeah, it just, I don't know, it just didn't work. This cut I actually did about a week ago. I started over, I cut about 70% of what we shot. So if you did come out for the day and you're not in the film, I am very sorry, but it's the price that has to be paid to make it vaguely watchable. There's a reason why it's part of the Heap. You know, I'm not 100% sold on it. It's not what I wanted. It got to a point where Dave, who is Dave in the film, would normally do the music and the score and the sound. I've done all that on this point. Not the score. The score is something I purchased from Audio Jungle and then sort of recut with the license, allowing me to recut it and change it around a bit to fit the film. And then I've done all the sound, and I re-recorded the voiceover and made it sound muffly, did all the overlays and stuff. And there it is. Where did it go wrong? I suppose that the script had some more ambitious set pieces in there, and we couldn't do those set pieces. We had to make a decision to cut quite a few bits back on the day and make them smaller, including the end punchline. So the original end punchline was that Dave got shot in the head, and then the head would land, it would go to black, and then we would cut to a reverse shot where Dave's head was kind of cut in half here, so you would see sort of just above the jawline, like all the bottom of the body, and the head would be gone. There'd just be the top of the head from the teeth upwards, and it would be looking very dead, blood and bits are sticking out, and then at some point the eyes would slowly open, and he'd just go, "Oh, you mother fuck!" Did it cut to music? Did happy times. But obviously that was a massively ambitious thing. We never got around to doing that shot because it was going to be a whole day of work on the green screen and doing all kinds of you know, madness, bits and pieces. So we didn't do that, and the end of the film, I think, doesn't land as well, and we're never going to do that. We're never going to get that shot. So I just kind of cut it together with the music, make it land as best as I could. But yeah, that's it. That's episode 1. Nice and short and snappy of The Heap. We'll be back. We'll do one of these, I reckon, once a month. If you've been watching Half Hammered Horror, you'll know that we haven't done one this month. We said, well, last month we said we were going to take January off. We're going to come back and record one in the next week or so. And the idea is that over the next few months, we're going to put up an episode of Half Hammered Horror one week, and then a couple of weeks after that, like a fortnight after that, we'll put out an episode of The Heap. I think next time we're going to take a look at Super Mario Intervention, which, if you were paying attention, was on our YouTube channel for about 3 days before I took it down in disgust, because I hated it. Really hated it. Until next time.